Imagine stepping into your backyard and being greeted by the melodic symphony of nature. A chorus of frogs serenades you from the edge of a shimmering pond. Dragonflies with their iridescent wings dance gracefully above the water. A curious frog peeks out from beneath a lily pad. This vibrant ecosystem can be yours. You can create a haven for wildlife with a simple addition to your backyard, a wildlife pond. A wildlife pond is more than just a water feature. It's a dynamic ecosystem teeming with life. It provides a home for a variety of creatures, from tiny aquatic insects to majestic dragonflies. Imagine watching as a mother duck leads her ducklings across your pond, their tiny webbed feet paddling furiously. Picture the delight of spotting a sleek newt sunning itself on a rock, its skin glistening with moisture. A wildlife pond, when built and maintained correctly, becomes a magnet for biodiversity. It attracts a wide array of species, each playing a vital role in the intricate web of life. Butterflies, with their wings painted in a kaleidoscope of colors, flit from flower to flower. This tapestry of life unfolds right outside your back door. Before we dive into the how-to, it's important to understand what sets a wildlife pond apart from a garden pond or a fish pond. Wildlife ponds are designed with a singular focus, providing habitat for wildlife. This means prioritizing the needs of native species over aesthetic preferences. One of the key distinctions of a wildlife pond is the absence of fish. Fish, especially larger species, are voracious predators. They can quickly decimate populations of tadpoles, insect larvae, and other aquatic creatures that rely on the pond for survival. Instead of fish, wildlife ponds rely on a delicate balance of native plants, insects, and amphibians to create a self-sustaining ecosystem. Native plants provide essential oxygen, filter pollutants, and offer shelter and food sources for various creatures. The presence of these plants attracts a diverse array of insects, which in turn become a vital food source for amphibians, birds, and other wildlife. Creating a wildlife pond is about replicating the natural world in your backyard. Building a wildlife pond is a rewarding endeavor, and like any successful project, it begins with careful planning. The location, depth, and construction of your pond are crucial factors that will determine its success in attracting and sustaining wildlife. Choosing the right location for your pond is paramount. Ideally, select a spot that receives a mix of sun and shade. Sunlight is essential for aquatic plants to thrive, while shaded areas provide respite from the heat for amphibians and other wildlife. Consider the surrounding environment as well. Is the area prone to runoff from fertilizers or pesticides? Is there a natural slope that could facilitate drainage? A wildlife pond should have varying depths to cater to the needs of different species. A shallow, gently sloping area allows animals easy access to the water and provides a safe haven for tadpoles and insect larvae. A deeper section, at least 2 feet deep, provides a refuge for amphibians and aquatic insects during the winter months when the pond may freeze over. Once you've determined the location and depth of your pond, it's time to start digging. Native plants are the backbone of any successful wildlife pond. They play a vital role in oxygenating the water, filtering out pollutants, and providing food and shelter for a variety of creatures. Choosing the right plants is crucial for creating a balanced and thriving ecosystem. When selecting plants for your pond, it's essential to choose species that are native to your region. Native plants are adapted to the local climate and soil conditions and are more likely to thrive in your pond. They also attract native insects, which are essential for a healthy food web. A variety of native plants will create a more diverse and resilient ecosystem. Aim for a mix of submerged, floating, and emergent plants to provide a range of habitats. While a well-planted pond is a great start, you can further enhance its appeal to wildlife by adding a few key features. These additions will provide essential habitat and create a more dynamic and inviting space for creatures of all shapes and sizes. Log piles are a fantastic addition to any wildlife pond. They provide valuable shelter for amphibians, reptiles, and small mammals. Simply stack a few logs of varying sizes near the edge of the pond, ensuring that some logs are partially submerged to create a gradient of moisture levels. Adding a rockery near the pond is another great way to attract wildlife. Rocks provide basking spots for turtles and snakes and offer shelter for insects and amphibians. Water features such as a small waterfall or fountain can add visual interest to your pond while also providing benefits for wildlife. The sound of running water can attract birds and other animals, and the increased oxygenation can benefit aquatic life. Once your wildlife pond is established, it's important to adopt a hands-off approach to maintenance. The goal is to allow the ecosystem to find its natural balance, with minimal intervention from you. Resist the urge to overclean your pond. A certain amount of algae and debris is natural and beneficial for a healthy ecosystem. Algae provide food for tadpoles and other aquatic creatures, while decaying leaves and other organic matter contribute to the nutrient cycle. Avoid using chemical fertilizers or pesticides near your pond. Regularly monitor the water level in your pond, especially during the hotter months. Evaporation can significantly reduce water levels, so be prepared to top it up with rainwater or dechlorinated tap water. Even with the best intentions, you may encounter a few common issues with your wildlife pond. But don't fret. Most problems can be resolved naturally without resorting to harsh chemicals. Algae blooms are a common occurrence in ponds, especially during the warmer months. While some algae are beneficial, excessive growth can cloud the water and deplete oxygen levels. To control algae naturally, introduce floating plants like water hyacinths or water lettuce, which compete with algae for nutrients. Barley straw, placed in a mesh bag in the pond, can also help inhibit algae growth. Invasive plant species can quickly take over a pond, crowding out native vegetation and disrupting the ecosystem. Regularly inspect your pond for any unfamiliar plants and remove them manually. Mosquitoes can be a nuisance around any water feature, so ensure there are plenty of predators such as dragonflies and backswimmers. Across the country, countless individuals have witnessed the transformative power of wildlife ponds. These real-life success stories serve as inspiring testaments to the positive impact these small-scale conservation efforts can have. In a suburban backyard in Pennsylvania, a newly created wildlife pond quickly became a haven for biodiversity. Within weeks, dragonflies patrolled the air, their iridescent wings glinting in the sunlight. Frogs serenaded the neighborhood with their nightly chorus, and a family of wood ducks even took up residence, raising their ducklings amongst the reeds. A school in California transformed an underutilized patch of grass into a thriving wildlife pond, creating an outdoor classroom for students to learn about ecology and conservation. The pond attracted a variety of species, including garter snakes, tree frogs, and numerous aquatic insects. These success stories highlight the remarkable impact that wildlife ponds can have, not only on local ecosystems, but also on the people who create them. Creating a wildlife pond is more than just a gardening project, it's a legacy. It's a gift to future generations, a testament to your commitment to preserving the natural world. By creating a haven for wildlife in your backyard, you're contributing to a larger movement. A movement that recognizes the interconnectedness of all living things. Every pond, no matter how small, plays a vital role in the conservation effort. It provides a stepping stone for wildlife, connecting fragmented habitats and allowing species to move more freely across the landscape. It serves as a refuge, a sanctuary where creatures can find food, water, and shelter in an increasingly urbanized world. Your pond becomes a microcosm of the natural world, a place where you can observe the intricate dance of life up close. The time for action is now. The planet needs your help, and creating a wildlife pond is a tangible, impactful way to make a difference. Don't let the scale of the global conservation crisis paralyze you. Remember, every journey begins with a single step. And in this case, that step is digging a pond. Embrace the challenge. Roll up your sleeves, get your hands dirty. The rewards of creating a wildlife pond far outweigh the effort. Even a small pond tucked away in a corner of your yard can provide a vital refuge for wildlife. We are at a critical juncture in the fight to preserve biodiversity. The choices we make today will determine the fate of countless species and the health of our planet for generations to come. The good news is that we all have a role to play. We can all be part of the solution. Creating a wildlife pond is a powerful act of individual conservation. It's a way to reclaim a small piece of our planet for nature, to create a haven for wildlife in a world that's increasingly hostile to their survival. But it's also about more than just creating habitat. It's about changing our relationship with the natural world. It's about recognizing that we are not separate from nature, but a part of it. So join the movement. Together we can create a wilder, more biodiverse world for ourselves and for generations to come.